What's going on, everybody? This is Matt Does Fitness, and a word of advice: never trust an atom. They make up everything. Okay, so you're probably wondering what the hell is going on. Don't panic. Basically, I'm filling in for Dan currently. He's pretty busy at the moment, and he asked me if I could make a video for him. So that's how this came about. On the topic of Dan, he's not here right now, obviously, although to be fair, he could be. You just wouldn't be able to see him because he's like, I don't know, 3'7" or something. Anyway, he's just literally sent me a message, which presumably he wants me to read out. So let's have a look. Text message. Hi BFF, Dangerous Dan here. Just wanted to let you know that I'm overwhelmed that you finally caved into my incessant and quite frankly desperate pleas to make a video for me. Slightly awkward. Basically, I've told everyone I'm busy, but I'm actually in Uganda getting pec implants. I'm basing my appearance on the Synthol man because I think he looks fantastic. Obviously, keep this information to yourself. Ooh. Now, the topic I'm going to talk about today is fitness myths and Broscience. I'm going to run through a few things that some people are convinced are true, that are factual, and I'm going to try and dispel these things and explain why they are quite frankly ridiculous. Right, let's get on with it. Okay, so the first one, and this is a massive one, this is a hugely publicised phenomenon. A lot of people genuinely believe this to be possible, and that is spot targeting fat loss. So, someone saying, right, I am going to lose fat from my stomach, or I want to lose fat from my stomach, how can I go about it? In case you're unaware, you cannot choose, you cannot target a specific place on your body from which to burn body fat. Where you deposit body fat on your body is hereditary, it's passed down, it's in your genes. So some people might put fat on their stomach, some people might put it on their sides or their thighs or their bum or their arms, or it completely varies from person to person. But the point is that goes on in a certain way and it comes off in a certain way, and you cannot affect the specific areas from which this happens. Obviously you can burn body fat as a whole and you can put on body fat as a whole, but in terms of trying to say, right, I'm going to lose body fat from my thighs, you can't do that. You lose body fat in general and eventually it will come off those areas, but you can't specifically target one place. Next myth, right, this is another big one. This is the belief that by doing hundreds and hundreds of sit-ups day after day, you are going to develop incredible six-pack abs. This is not strictly the case, okay? So if you wanted to get bigger biceps, you wouldn't go to the gym and perform a set of 100 arm curls, right? That's not the done thing, no one's going to do that. You might do it once every 6 months just to mix it up. That's not going to form the basis of your training plan. Generally speaking, you're going to perform sets in the region of maybe 8 to 12 reps, okay? And your abs are no different. There's no reason to be doing, 70, 80, 90, 100 sit-ups or crunches or whatever, circuits with up to like 1,000. I had a friend of mine told me he did 1,000 crunches last night. That's ridiculous. What are you doing? Two things at play here. Obviously, firstly, in order to get visible abs, you need to lose the body fat from your stomach first. So before you start doing your ab stuff, you might as well get rid of the body fat first. Secondly, in order to get bigger, more defined abs, you need to do ab work in the same rep range as you would do for any other body part. So roughly speaking, maybe 8 to 12 reps. So obviously, you can do more than 12 crunches or sit-ups, use a weight as resistance, or do like cable crunches, or find another form of resisting your exercise to make it more difficult so that you can't do too many more than 12 reps. Because if you can do an exercise for 100 reps, it's too easy. Myth number 3, and this is a big one and it really grates on me personally, it's probably my biggest pet hate, and this is the whole good food, bad food theory. Okay, so people say to me, or I hear people say, don't eat that, that's bad for you, or I'm going to eat loads of this because it's really good for me. What are you talking about? If you are trying to lose weight, if you're trying to lose body fat, focusing so much of your attention on certain things that you consider to be, you deem good food or bad, or avoiding certain things you deem to be bad foods, you're wasting your time, okay? What it comes down to, now this is slightly controversial and there are tiny discrepancies, but generally speaking what it comes down to is calories in versus calories out. If you burn 2,000 calories a day, if you consume 1,900 calories a day, you are going to lose body fat, you're going to lose weight, okay? Likewise, if you burn 2,000 calories a day and you consume 2,100 calories a day, you're going to put on weight and you're going to get fat, okay? That is science, that is literally how it works. That is as complex as it gets. Obviously, beyond that, if you eat crap food all the time, you're not going to feel great. If you eat better, supposedly better foods for you, with better, nutrients and stuff, you're obviously going to feel better. But in terms of actual physical weight loss, it does not matter what you eat. It is literally just calories in versus calories out. You could eat pizza and chocolate cake all day, well not all day, every day for 6 months. As long as you are consuming less calories than you are burning off, you will lose weight. That is a fact. You'll feel crap and you'll probably look horrendous, but you will lose weight. So, if you are trying to lose weight, don't stress out about good foods and bad foods. Just eat in moderation. Obviously, eat the things you want to eat, the things that are going to be good for you. That's going to make you feel better within yourself. But like I said, don't lose sleep over eating good things and avoiding bad things, because it will stress you out and you are effectively wasting your time. The more weights you lift, the bigger you get. Okay, so you go to the gym, you do 3 sets of arm curls, your biceps are sore, and you think, you know what, I'm going to keep going. You do 5 sets, you do 6 sets, you do 7 sets, you do 10 sets, because your theory is the more arm curls I do, the bigger my arms are going to get. What are you doing? You're an idiot. Now, obviously, there is, to a certain extent, the more you do, the bigger you get, but there is a ceiling to that, okay? Now, people have different theories in this, and it does vary from person to person, but once you get past a certain number of sets, maybe 3, 4, 5 sets of the same exercise, you are effectively wasting your time, okay? Your body can only adapt to so much stimulus. It obviously needs a stimulus to get bigger, but after you achieve that maximum, that stimulus, then you're wasting your time. The graph of work to growth is going to do this, but eventually it's going to do this, and then eventually it's going to do that, okay? So if you keep going and going and going and going, you're going to start regressing, you're going to start losing mass. So yeah, it's not literally a case of just a complete positive correlation with the more you do, the bigger you get. There is a limit. If I give you an analogy, if I'm painting the back of my house blue, if I do 1 coat of blue, it looks a bit blue, yeah? I do a 2nd coat of blue, it looks pretty blue. I do a 3rd coat of blue, my house is definitely blue. If I do another 10 coats of blue, my house is not any more blue. I've just wasted loads of paint. I've got paint on my hands, my brushes, I've gone through like 5 brushes. This analogy is going on for too long, but you get the idea, okay? So going on and on and on and on, after you get to a certain point, you are wasting your time and you're probably going to do more bad than good. Okay, I'm on a roll. Next myth. Right, this is when someone says to you, over the last 6 months, or over the last 3 months or month or whatever, I have lost loads of body fat and I've put on loads of muscle. I've been on a massive cut, I've cut my calories big time, but I'm putting on loads of muscle. That is pretty much guaranteed to be a lie. It is almost impossible to lose body fat whilst you are gaining muscle, alright? It's very, very counterintuitive. The process of building muscle requires there to be an excess of calories in order to build muscle. The exception to this rule is that if you've never trained before in your life, you're completely untrained, then there is obviously, you're going to get that initial growth and progression, which you might be able to get on a calorie deficit, but it's still going to be hard. But for anyone that is reasonably well trained, that's been training for a while, it is almost impossible to be on a calorie deficit, to lose body weight or body fat whilst building muscle. It's very, very, very hard, and it is very rare that someone does that without obviously the use of drugs and stuff. Now, where it might be a little bit misleading is that obviously if you lose weight, if you get a guy that's got quite a lot of bulk, quite a lot of muscle, but he's a little bit high in terms of body fat, if he starts to lose body fat, he could probably lose a bit of muscle but actually get the appearance of being more muscular, because obviously as his amount of body fat reduces, he's going to look more ripped, he's going to look more vascular, and so even though he's actually smaller and he's actually lost a little bit of muscle mass, he has the illusion of being bigger. So that's where it might be a bit misleading, but generally speaking, it is pretty much impossible to lose weight, to lose fat whilst gaining muscle. And the final myth, this is the myth that muscle soreness equals muscle growth. So if you train and the next day you are horrendously sore, you think, I've smashed it, I'm going to really grow. And more importantly, if you do a big session and the next day you wake up and you have no soreness at all, you think, oh my God, I haven't done it right, I'm not going to get any bigger. Right, that is not true. It's based on no fact, no studies. No studies have ever shown, this is a fact, no studies have ever shown any correlation between muscle soreness and muscle growth, okay? It is not correlated. Obviously, if you are very new to training, you are going to experience more muscle soreness than someone who is very experienced in the gym. And there are certain exceptions to the muscle soreness, muscle growth thing. For example, eccentric muscle contraction, so like a contraction where the muscle is getting longer whilst it is working. So stuff like lunges, that's going to inhibit more muscle soreness, so the chances are you'll be sore for a couple of days after doing that, even if you've done it a few times before. But generally speaking, if you've done an exercise for a while and you are used to it, you can keep up in the weight, you can keep up in your performance, you can keep growing muscle, but with relatively little or no muscle soreness at all. So there is no correlation, there is no link between being sore and muscle growth. As long as you train properly and you are doing the right things and the correct rep ranges and set ranges and form, then soreness is irrelevant. And that is that. So, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Big thank you to Dan for having me. If you'd like to watch a guy training who's taller than 5 feet, then check out my channel, and I will see you later.